Hi guys, my name's Actual Vision and welcome to an unofficial sim racing show. This is kind of a new series that I'm going to be kicking off, and it's called the Driver Spotlight. And today I am very pleased to say that I'm joined by Isaac Gillesen.
Hello, thanks for having me.
No worries, man. How you doing?
Yeah, very well, thanks. Just got off college, so it's nice to have a talk after.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been a crazy, well, let's say 3 years, I would say. He's still a very young man, but a crazy 3 years. And yeah, I just thought, there's loads of people in the world that might want to hear a little bit more about Mr. Isaac Gillesen. So let's give a little intros to who you are, I guess, how old you are, what you do, and what your aims are for this year, I guess.
Sure, yes. So my name is Isaac Gillesen in Dutch. I'm now a Veloce sim racer. I am 19 years old. I live in the Netherlands, Delft, study in Delft. I study aeronautical engineering, and I'm looking to make motorsports my job, basically.
Nice. That's the dream for all of us here, whether it be sim racing or indeed real motorsport. Well, I've known you for, 3 years? When was it? 2017?
Yeah, 2017 we met first time in Cologne, right?
Yeah, man.
SMS-r Championship.
So what were you then? 17 years old? 16? 17 years old?
Correct. 17, yeah.
Wow, it just seems so long ago. Like, you're still so young. I'm so envious right now. So, yeah, I met you for the Project Cars World Championships on the original Project Cars game, and it was actually the launch week of Project Cars 2 as well at Gamescom. But that's not where it began for you, was it? You know, straight away I'm going to head to a video here where it's you with a steering wheel. Tell me, what wheel is that? What game is that?
You're talking about the video of, I believe my brother is driving there on my Twitter page.
Oh, is that your brother driving?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought that was you.
I'm sitting next to him. I was only watching. But that was on a Logitech wheel, believe it or not. Back in the day, I believe I was 8 or I don't know.
Oh wow, yeah, there's the wheel. I can see it now. That's amazing.
Yeah, 2004. So I was 4 back then.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. Wow. 4 back then, and we were just playing racing games basically.
What game is that? Is that a rally game?
I believe it's Colin McRae.
Oh, what a
rally.
classic!
So yeah, that's one of the first games we started off together with DTM race driver, something. I believe it's also commonly known as Toka Touring Cars.
Oh, that's the best game ever.
Yeah.
That and Ridge Racer. Those are the 2 games that I never want to play again because I know it would ruin it for me.
Yeah, it's a great game. I mean, it's first sim, basically, I think, when it released. Together with, I also played F1 Challenge 98 to 2002, I believe. So it was also a great game, the first Formula 1 game for us. And yeah, it was just my brother and I just driving along, and my dad basically started that because he watches motorsports as well, and he got us into it as well. So that's where it all started basically.
So was there arguments between you and your brother where it's like, I want to have a go on the wheel, no, it's my turn, or was it quite kind of was it all fun and games?
We had a schedule only.
Oh wow!
We had a schedule only half an hour a day, and usually my brother would drive first, and then I would drive because, or at the age of 4, I still couldn't reach the pedals, so usually my brother would just press the throttle and the brake, and I would steer only. So yeah, that was quite funny. And,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a really really long time back.
So your brother is obviously an inspiration for getting involved. I saw a video on his Twitter account when the last video he posted was actually on Project Cars, the original. Does he still sim race himself?
Yeah, a little bit. He drives on Gran Turismo, and he studies in a different city in the Netherlands. But yeah, we still share the same passion for motorsports, and we are planning to do to go to some events, to the Nürburgring 24-hour and to DTM at Zolder and Assen. So yeah, still very much just a motorsports family, basically.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. It's good to have something in common. Obviously, everyone has something in common with your family, but to have something that you all, outside of a family environment where it's like a hobby for everybody to be involved, it's good to have talking points in regards to that. So you started playing, Colin McRae, like you were saying, the DTM games, Formula One games at 4 years old. So where did it go from there? So you first got the wheel. Obviously, you had to grow your legs, and there's no problem there now. You're like 9 foot tall. But
now the rigs are too small for me.
Yeah, the irony. So now you got past the stage of, oh my God, I really love this. So when did you really feel like you started to get a talent for it, let's say?
Yeah, I don't know. In 2000, well, I had a little break with sim racing from 28 to 2010 or so, I believe. And in 2010, I started playing Gran Turismo 5. It was back then, and F1 2011. And yeah, I just started playing that, doing open lobbies on Gran Turismo 5 and then Gran Turismo 6, F1 2013. And then I started league racing in a Formula 1 league called TGP series. And I guess that was my first competitive sort of start of sim racing in 2013. It was back then. And then I moved to playing Project Cars, not in any leagues yet. That was 2014, and then the ESL Cups came along on Project Cars, and I just started playing that and got involved with really, really quick drivers. I mean, the fact that the first ESL Cup I participated in, I finished 12th. I was just really happy because it was my first competitive esports competition to start with, and then finishing 12th for me was a really big achievement. And then, as I said, just got involved with faster and faster players. I got picked up by my first esports team, SRT. And then that was for a year, I believe, or so. And then just kept doing ESL Cups. And the Benelux Cups came along as well. And then VP Gaming picked me up in 2017. And got right into the first SMS-r series, actually, with Raskeman and with Ocker and Darwin as manager. And just started practicing more on Project Cars. And we qualified for the final in Cologne, my first real event, so to say. And yeah, that was quite amazing. That was really... Pardon?
That's the same time I ever commentated a major event as well, so we were in the same boat there.
Yeah, it was amazing to see how big it really was, because I never had raced on a stage. I never had been interviewed on a stage. So it was really quite big for me. I mean, it was also just looking how I behave myself on the stage, because I never been in that situation before, and I was really nervous walking up to the guy with the microphone and being interviewed, and then jumping in the seat and started driving. And then when I started driving, just all the nerves went away and just focused on my job. And that was the moment I thought, this is what I want to do more and more. Just racing for a crowd and in a big esports competition with all the fastest guys around. Yeah, that's really where the esports started for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a really cool story. Bringing up the ESL Go 4 Cups back in the day, the likes of Driver R1, we had Joker, Kaki, a guy called Actrovision in the finals. Remember those days?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah,
but
really
those
cool.
were just to get to the final back in those days on Project Cars was huge, and they were never broadcasted either. Like I started broadcasting them, I don't know, maybe a year into the cups, because I was just like, the talent is on show here, look at it. And so we started to do that. But yeah, they were dog eat dog. Like, it was the best and the worst of sim racing, I would say. Like, it really gave people like yourself a platform to indeed grow and to find teams. Team managers were looking at this. It was very unique. There wasn't anything else really out there. You look at what we have now, like in terms of sim racing, every game has a huge like series or season, but like there was nothing really that you could just sign up for, turn up, and it was €50 or whatever. But it was never about the money, let's say. But every single week you were racing against people that you were hot lapping for 12 laps in the final. That's basically what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, with no tire or something like that, but still with the most competitive people on that game. And I think that was also really the start of esports sim racing back then, 2017. Project Cars was one of the first, and then iRacing as well. And then it just really kicked off, and now every racing game basically has an esports functionality.
Yeah, absolutely. it's certainly grown from those days. It was like the highest you could expect was. You get there was invite competitions back then on games that like there was things like Live for Speed that was huge back in the day,
Right.
but
Yeah.
no one knew about it. Like there's only a select few people that know about it because it wasn't like social media wasn't as big as it is now. Like the whole sim racing world wasn't as big as it is now, and I've spoken about this previously. Like it was the same people being invited to the same competitions over and over again. And now the talent pool is just thousands that are at the top level. It's ridiculous how much it's grown. Not to say that all of the people that were being invited were bad or anything like that. Like 3 or 4 of those drivers are still making all of these finals. So yeah, the way sim racing has grown, and you're you're the perfect age for it. Like you're still really, really young. Like you got into this, you weren't quite sort of 12, 13 where you weren't developed enough to really compete at that level, but you were sort of 16, 17 years old, which is spot on. And now obviously you're growing into a young man, and now you're sort of hitting your peak. And for me, I'm going to see the next 10, 15 years being absolutely huge. You spoke about your first team, SRT, but I would like to just talk about how the whole VP Gaming came across. One of the best, cleanest sim racing teams I've ever clapped eyes on, and it's also from a glance from the outside run very, very well. So how did that come about for you?
Yeah, right. So basically at the end of my time at SRT, I wasn't really just feeling comfortable within the team. Some of the racing, the racecraft within the team at those ESL Cups just weren't on for me, as I
Kenny.
Sorry. Yeah, right. Yeah. So yeah, I was already looking to see if I could join another team, or maybe even quit SRT team. And then VP Gaming asked me if I wanted to join, and yes, I did basically, because I was racing those guys already on the ESL Cups, and they were really fast, and I was glad to join the team. And then they fast tracked me into the SMS-r lineup, and started practicing more and more with the team, and that's how it began basically.
Yeah, so not only did you become a part of a team of exceptional drivers, like the talent pool at VP is huge, but you made some lifelong friends. We're gonna go and check out pictures here of the VP, and well, I guess it came to its climax last year where you officially become the SMS-r champions for Project Cars 2. We can see there on my screen right now, we've got yourself, Yuhan, and Darwin Daumer. Darwin Daumer being the manager of VP. And how did it feel that, I know, again, you can see you on the left there, you're still a very young man, but it must have felt like years to get to this point, because it was a couple of years, but you come so close to winning these big majors on Project Cars, but never quite got across the line. We've had the A1 Esports, we've had the SMS-r Championships in the past, but then you finally got across the line. How was that feeling?
Yeah, I mean, it just felt like hard work paid off, and I mean, it was even more rewarding because I did with VP Gaming, with Johan, and with Darwin, to friends, to teammates, and to just very quick drives, and to do it with them was really cool. And I mean, we started. Johan wasn't part of the team back then, but Darwin and I with VP Gaming started at the SMS-r Championship in Cologne. And back then, for me, it was okay to get third, or it was even better to get third or fourth place in those finals, because I knew the guys I was racing against just were incredibly quick. Pardon me. And there was no shame in losing to them. So I was okay with getting third or fourth, and then Project Cars came out, and we started playing it from the start. And then, I mean, with the release of such a new game, it's basically a level playing field for everyone. So if you get to start playing it from the start, and you put the hours in, you can mix it with the top. So when we started doing the ESL Cups on Project Cars, the first few ESL Cups were really close as well. It was really cool to see. But we could mix with the top few guys, and with the A1 Season 1 and Season 2 finals, I am not one for making excuses, but I was pretty unlucky in the first one, and the second one I didn't have any time to practice. But still, I think the potential was there. And then SMS-r final, official Project Cars final. Yeah, we put so much work in, Darwin and I and Johan, and just not only hot lapping, but also racecraft and trying out different scenarios and in the rain and what happens when you do this and what happens if your tires overheat and you go over that curb, etc., etc. And just came, I think, most prepared of all teams in London at the Mercedes-Benz World. And then to win it with the friends, I think that's the best feeling you can get, basically.
Yeah, I say this all the time. You can win on your own in a solo competition, and it's amazing. But to be able to share an experience of winning with team members, with friends, there's nothing that can beat that. Team sports is just the best of the best. And like you just touched on it there, Project Cars esports that we've had for the last sort of 3 years. You'd be hard pressed to find a more competitive, especially at the final end of a competition. You'd be hard pressed to find a more competitive championship over the last few years, because the whole grid is capable of winning races, right?
Yeah, I think that is something that Project Cars does very well. I mean, they are very clear in the regulations and the rules, and I mean, everybody is free to join. At least it was not the case with the SMS-r Championship with the Pro Grid. That was invite only for teams, but those teams picked up drivers that played only Project Cars as well, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it's default setup, mostly no tire wear. And the cars are free. You don't have to play the game for hours and hours to unlock those cars. The cars are free. You can start driving it right away, and that makes for great competition. I think everyone can join. Everyone can be fast, and I think that makes the grid so close as well in those big finals.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more there. So there's the irony of this story is you beat a team called Veloce, who came second in the SMS-r Championship, and you were driving for Team VP. And last week you announced that you have joined Veloce. So Veloce weren't a thing when VP signed you. Veloce are relatively new. They're about 2 years in esports, but they have grown massively. So how did this deal come about, and what made you decide to switch teams?
Yeah, right. So initially I wasn't planning on switching teams, but after the Logitech G finals, I mean, becoming European champion in the Logitech G final in Cologne and then world champion in Las Vegas. Going into the new year, I was on a high, and I was thinking, what's next? What's the next competition, and what can I do to improve myself? And then Charlie from Veloce contacted me, asking me if I was free to have a chat about Veloce and about the team, and I said okay. And we had a chat. He was very convincing, and he basically just asked if I wanted to join the team. And I've been impressed with Veloce on their progress from 2018. They started in 2018, and now where they are right now. I mean, partners with Alfa Romeo Esports and winning multiple championship and also Le Mans Esports champions. It's really impressive, and I think after last year, what I needed was a new team to prove myself again, for a lot of motivation, to prove myself within the team and getting motivation by that, and racing with different guys as well to learn from them and gain more experience. I think that is what I needed, and that's why I decided to join Veloce.
Yeah, well, you've come from a very Project Cars 1, Project Cars 2, so Project Cars background in terms of sim racing, and obviously Veloce, they have fingers in many pies in the sim racing world, not only sim racing but in lots of esports scenes around the world. So what does the future hold then for Mr. Gillesen? Where do you go from here? Do you now look to extend your talents within different games? What's your plans for 2020?
Yeah, exactly. I think Project Cars, looking into the future, I haven't heard about any competitions for Project Cars, so naturally I want to start playing different games as well. I mean, I've become champion twice on the game now, and I think it's time to see if I can become champion on another game. So yeah, I've started to play Race Room a lot more with the ADAC sim racing competition.
That looks absolutely nuts. Some of the qualifying times. Oh wow.
Yeah, did you see the leaderboard for the first event? The top 150 or so within 1 second. That's absolutely nuts. But yeah, the first races was last week on Friday. Didn't go very well because they were my first races on the game. I speeded in the pit lane, and I didn't know there was a pit window, so I pitted before the pit window and had to make a pit stop again. But I mean, that's something you can expect when playing a new game. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next races. I think the pace is there. I'm currently 7th in the leaderboard for the second event. Wow. So I'm excited to see what I can do in the next race, and I've started to practice as well with Alexander Doorniden, a champion on Race Room. So I hope to learn a lot from him.
Love that guy.
Yeah, really nice, and yeah, just put in the work and hope I can deliver on Race Room as well.
Yeah, I don't see why not. You know, you've got the talent, you've got you've got the age, you've got the ability to adapt, and you know, some of these drivers, you know, the Jack Keithleys of this world, who are right at the top end, the Tim Heinemans as well, that of Race Room. They've been doing this for a long time now, since the game indeed came out. And if you're breaking into that top 10 already, the future is very bright. And that ADAC series looks, was 80,000 euros as well. Like, that's huge money.
Yeah. I mean, it's a prize pool where the winner gets 10k, but it also consists of 4 live events where you get the trip paid, and you get to go to Oosterschleben and to Nürburgring and to Hockenheim. That's also one of the big things I want to look at, because I love these live events. As I said about SMS-r Championship in 2017, it's very addicting to race at a location basically, and meet all the guys there and race for a crowd and meet the commentators.
What happens in Vienna stays in Vienna, Isaac.
yeah, let's keep it like that. Yeah. But I mean, I'm also very much doing it for these events. I mean, traveling to the Nürburgring and to Oosterschleben and to London and to Las Vegas, it's completely insane, and something I could have never imagined when I started doing ESL Cups. So yeah, it's been quite a good time.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you know, 3 years ago, I never would have thought I would have seen as much of the world as I have through sim racing. It's actually quite ridiculous, and yeah, very thankful for it. I guess one final question. I'm not going to be cruel to you here and just pick your best moment of your career so far. I'm going to ask you for your best team moment and your best individual moments. So yeah, a bit of help for you there.
Right. Yeah. So I think best team moment thus far with VP Gaming has to be the London final, in the SMS-r final in London at Mercedes-Benz World. Just we had been practicing so much before the event, being online every day and just practicing and with Johan and with Darwin, the practicing never got boring. So it was really motivating to race with those guys, and then to win from all the teams there. It was really rewarding. So that would be my team, my best team moment. And then I think best individual moment would be the championship in Las Vegas. Yeah, just amazing in that location at the poker studio in Las Vegas, winning a sim racing competition with Logitech was really unbelievable. And yeah, that was my best individual moment, I think.
That's absolutely superb. Yeah, those 2 moments that are going to be hard pressed to beat. You know, we could probably ask you that question in 5 years' time, and those 2 would be right up there for sure.
I mean, they both happened within a year, so who knows what happens this year?
Yeah, man, I'm really excited to watch the future for you, Isaac. I really am. Like I say, Isaac is genuinely a top bloke, a really nice guy, and he's a smoke show of the scene, as we know. And he's officially the two-time of sim racing. So
yes, yeah.
Make sure that you keep an eye out on him because he will see you. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on this as the first driver spotlight. I wish you the very, very best of luck for the future, guys. You've got his page up on the screen there. Make sure you go follow him on Twitter at Veloce_Isaac21 and ask him some questions. You know, get to know this guy, get behind him because he is the future of esports. Again, thank you very much, Isaac, and good luck for the year.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Well, there you go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Actual Vision. Hopefully, we're going to get a few more drivers on across the year and make this more of a regular thing. That is the plan. So, yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the comments who you would like to see. I guess that might be the best idea. But again, thank you for watching. I've been Actual Vision, and I shall catch you next time. Bye-bye.